Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming today. My name is Steve Spellman. I have the privilege of being the president of the World Affairs Council. I'd like to first thank you all for coming, then thank our sponsors, Wilbraham and Munson Academy, Sir Speedy, and as always, a special thanks to NAA Plotkin for allowing us to use this marvelous space. I want to thank our board members, Jeremy Cole, who's helping on audiovisual, along with Jeff Krasner. Thank you, Jeff. So we're recording this event so that people can see it online, or if you'd like to watch it later. If you are not a member of the World Affairs Council, I urge you to join. We've got a fabulous organization. The person you would talk to is Sid Melcher over here, who is holding the applications. I can guarantee you if you apply, you'll be admitted. But it's a great organization, and we put on wonderful programs like this. Our speakers today are Nazifa Hassan and Safieullah Safie. They're back with us for the second time. It's wonderful to see them again. In August of 2021, due to their involvement in humanitarian issues and also with United States agencies, as well as the brutal assassination of Nazifa's father, they were forced to evacuate from their home in Afghanistan, and they ultimately settled here in Western Massachusetts. Both now are working for Save the Children. They are going to each talk a little bit, and then we will have a question and answer period at the end of that. When I come back, I'll have some suggestions on the way you could form your questions. They've got a audio aid that they'll be passing back and forth, so there might be, hopefully not too much of a hiccup there. They will be speaking today on the refugee experience in Western Massachusetts. An update.
Thank you, Steve. It's truly an honor to stand here today in front of you and share our journey from Afghanistan to United States, from uncertainty to resilience, and from seeking refuge to finding a new home. I want to express my deepest gratitude to World Affairs Council for providing this opportunity for us. This is not the moment of my story. It's about the resilience of millions of refugees around the world and the power of communities like yours on shaping a new beginning for them. People seek refuge for many reasons. They flee poverty, they flee violence, they flee persecution. Very simply, for a hope to find a place where they can live with freedom and dignity. Imagine leaving everything you have behind yourself, your family, your career, and everything you built in entire your life, your memories. And you will never think about it, that there would be a day that you will come back and see them again. That is the pain of which all the refugees around the world feels. And one thing which unites all refugees around the world is the pain of feeling everything behind themselves. Today, like Steve said, we decided to share our history about evacuation from Afghanistan, a new beginning in the United States, opportunities and challenges in front of the refugees in the new country. And also at the end of session, we will have Q&A to answer your questions. At this stage, I will ask my wife, Nazifa, to help us and walk us through the presentation that he put a couple of photos together, which shows the journey from Afghanistan to United States. Nazifa, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm not sure it's good afternoon. Oh, yeah, it's afternoon. Yeah, it is really afternoon. Okay, thank you so much for having us today here. Before starting, about my story, about my career, my family, and how we ended up in Western Mass, ladies and gentlemen, let me to give you a sense of my life when I was back in my home. Before everything happened on August 2021, like 15 August 2021, I, with my family, with my youngest one, we were living in Kabul city. It was a crowded city. Even though the conflict was happening in that country, it is something normal that the country who are facing more than 40 years for civil war. So conflict and challenge is happening. So even though we were facing with those challenges, we had a happy life over there, a normal life. We were investing anything that we had for that country to make a better life for us and a bright future for our son. I and my husband, Safie, both we were working. Safie used to work on that time with Afghanistan government in Presidential Palace. The first picture that you see, it is Safie by the time that he brought my son to his office, and they were sitting in president's chair over there. The second picture belongs to the time that I was traveling for work related. I used to work with an international organization. We were working together, all our team, for civilian protection to make sure that humanitarian law is applicable on that country. For me and my family, the journey began on August 15, 2021, a time of unimaginable chaos as Afghanistan fell into crisis. Kabul, once the city of hope, love, became a sense of desperation as 1,000 flooded in the street, searching for a way to get out, searching for safety and survival. What happened to me and my family? Everything happened just in a matter of 24 hours. So we had to find a place to be safe. So we had to leave our house in a few seconds. We had to take our decision. We went a hiding place. We were there until the time that the evacuation happened. The picture that you see, that both of them are taken by Safie. The first picture on the left side, as you see, that the person who is behind Safie is sitting over there, that's me. Mm-hmm. So that was the only place that internet was working, and I had the internet connection. So from there, that when I was sitting there, I used my phone, I was communicating with my friends. All those friends who are outside in Afghanistan, US, Europe, all around the world, they were trying to find a way for us to get out from that situation. The second picture from the right, as you see behind Safie, that one is a destroyed house, but we had to be there until the evacuation happened to save our life. When we received the instruction to hit the Kabul airport, we knew the risk. But we had no choice. The airport was a place of sorrow, family pleading for future, people who had dedicated their life to Afghanistan progress, now facing an uncertain fate. These are all the memories that you see. Unfortunately, I don't have lots of pictures from that time because, the situation that we were on that time. So we don't have lots of memory from that time. The first picture in life, the right side is the instruction, the first instruction that we received to hit the Kabul airport. That was not the only one. We got many of them. Our friends was trying to help us to reach to the Kabul airport. But due to the crowd, we were not able to reach. So I can say more than 3 or 4 times the mission failed. We tried our best and we couldn't. Finally, on August 27, 2021, finally we reached to the Kabul airport. The picture you see that this belongs to the time we just entered to the Kabul airport. And as you see, we had the US military over there, the people who helped us on that time a lot. Then the tragedy happened. A devastating attack in Abbey Gate, one of the gates of Kabul airport, took the life of over 100 civilians and brave US service members. We were there, and believe me, it was really painful. The moment was reminder of the cost of war. On August 28, 2021, aimed off the chaos, we were evacuated first from Kabul airport to Qatar, from Qatar to a military base in Germany. Everything that we could get from our home over there, you see in the left picture. We had only a pair of clothes for our son, some necessary document, a computer, and the small bag, as you see over there, it was full of charger for our computer and our phone. That was everything that we could take from home. Second picture belongs to the time that we were just inside the military airplane. We were flying from Kabul airport to Qatar. This is a memory from Qatar. They established a temporary camp inside the Qatar airport. It was a huge tent. Above 300 people were inside there, families, women, men, children, all of them were together. As you see, they put all the places, small, tiny places for each person to sleep over there. We were there for about 4 days. Then we went to Germany. Unfortunately, I don't have lots of photo from there, but this photo belongs to the time that we were waiting for our plane to fly from Germany to US. My son wanted to sleep, and we didn't have anything for him to sleep. Then Safie became his mattress, and then my son slept over his dad. After days of uncertainty, finally we reached the United States in early September 2021. But arriving in US was just the beginning of another challenges, building a new life. We spent nearly 2 months in a military base in Indiana, navigating the resettlement process. We were there, we were trying to keep ourselves busy with reading books, chatting and hanging out with the militaries who are helping over there. As you see, Safie is reading a book. We got a blanket from American Red Cross. We were putting that one somewhere when we were sitting. We were to keep ourselves busy somehow. And my son, he became friends with the military who were giving us service. They were nice people. They were trying to help us as much they can. And I'm really thankful for the end of my life for them, what they did for us. Then in November 2021, we arrived in Massachusetts, a place we knew a little bit about and would soon call home. Starting over was overwhelming. Everything was unfamiliar. The system, the culture, the people, even the small aspect of daily life. But our priority was survival, finding stability, securing job, and ensuring our son could continue his education. But in these struggles, we found something remarkable. Kindness, love, support of our friends, community members, and the organization helped us navigate the new world. One of the first steps toward this stability was ensuring our son's education. His transition was taught. But warmth and patience of his teacher made all these differences, and I'm really thankful for all of them. Basketball and soccer became his outlets, gave him not just a way to stay active, but the sense of belonging. Seeing him adopt, make friends, and thrive reassured us that we had made a right decision. We were fortunate to receive initial government support, a crucial lifeline that gave us time to adjust. But we knew we didn't want to rely on assistance for long. We wanted to stand on our feet, to contribute, and to build future with dignity. Within 2 months, both I and my husband secured job. These weren't just a job. They were our first step toward rebuilding the new identity. They gave us hope, sense of normalcy, and the ability to provide for our families. More importantly, they allow us to give back to the country that they had given us a second chance. Today we are feeling home. We are living in Long Meadow. My son is happy over there. We went through all the paperwork, the asylum process. The first picture on the left belongs to the time that we were in Boston for our asylum interview. Second, Homan's graduation from Prelude, downtown Springfield from preschool. The third one is the last one that we just took, I can say recently, on May 2024. It was my son's name is Homan's birthday, and that was the first time that Homan was able to read a storybook for his friends in front of the class. And he made us to be proud. Although the journey was challenging, it is not easy to leave everything behind and start a new life. If I compare myself with some of the people that I knew about them, our journey was so smooth. There was a few facts, because first one was that I and Safie used to work for an international organization, so we were not unfamiliar with Western life. Second thing was we were able to communicate with our friends who were trying to help us. That was the thing that made our journey to move smoothly. Each person has their own story, even though we were one of the lucky one. But we would like to talk about the overall, what kind of opportunity and challenges based on what we experience and we know from our area in Western Mass. And I would like to ask Safie to continue with that part. Safie, please.
All right. So if we talk about opportunities, United States of America is a land of opportunity. That's my perspective, and I hope that it will be the same perspective that you have. I say it as a lens of a refugee, a person, a newcomer who was a stranger in this country and who found his way moving forward, who built his life from scratch. So that's why I call it land of opportunities. And if I discuss about the opportunities in Western Mass, there's a lot of them. There's many opportunities, which is way beyond our decision. We can talk for hours or maybe days. I will just flag a few of them, which recently, during our past 3 years life, we experienced it and we noticed that how positive impact these opportunity and benefit can bring for the new lives. First of them, high minimum wage in Massachusetts provides economic stability. One of the biggest challenges that refugees are facing, they come to a new country with little or no saving. The high minimum wage in Massachusetts can help them to cover their basic needs, rent, food, medical expenses without relying too much on the government assistance. And also allows the family to achieve the financial independency faster. And more importantly, the income from the high minimum wage helps the family to spend on the education of their children, which is the key success for the future of this country. Another biggest benefit that Massachusetts provides, a strong public education system. Education is a key to break the cycle of the hardship, and Massachusetts has some of the best public schools in the country. Other refugees, including my son, benefit from the quality teaching, inclusive communities, English as a second language classes and programs. Healthcare system is another benefit. Great example is Mass Health. Massachusetts has the best healthcare system in US, offering refugees on a comprehensive health coverage. Great example is Mass Health. I was doing a little bit research to find out. I will give you a number, but hopefully I'm pretty sure that you already did your own research. 2 million people in Massachusetts receive Mass Health. 1.6 million of them are refugees, immigrants, and people who live in poverty. 500,000 people receive mass help due to the need of their special needs. While navigating the system can be challenging, I will talk about that in our challenges. Another good example of the benefit that Massachusetts offers is a diverse, inclusive community. Especially Western Mass offer urban, suburban, and rural lifestyle, and also a diverse community, which makes benefit for refugees to learn about adjustment. One great example I can tell you is I learned it from my son. The amount of information I get from him about Hanukkah, about Lunar New Year, about Diwali festival is more than what I read it from the books. I read it from the books and the theory, but he came from school and he practiced it. This is because of the diverse community in Western Mass. And it helps other people, especially myself, who came from a very high context country, to learn about culture and diversity. Although these were a few bullet points of the opportunities that Massachusetts provides for refugees, there are some challenges. Not only in Massachusetts, not only in the US, overall around the world which refugees suffers. The biggest challenges they suffer is language barriers. Like Nazifa said, we were not exposed on that issue. We used to work with the US programs back there in Afghanistan. We used to expose with Americans there. We had American friends working together. And we were implementing your tax money over there, and we wanted to make sure that it's spent it on the right way. We risked our life to spend those money in the right way. So we were exposed. We knew about the US culture. We celebrated the Thanksgiving in the country, which never, it was a new thing. But the majority of other refugees, they suffer with the language barrier. Refugee who faces with difficulty in communication, it affects their access to the service and to the employment. Based on the experience of 3 years of life, more than 3 years of life I have in Massachusetts, I can say that there are some steps moving forward that we can take it as a community members to help them to integrate easily by supporting more ESL classes in community center and libraries and religious institutions. And also we can volunteer and we can encourage our children, high school student, college student, to be an English teacher for them. It is in a both side benefit. They will teach them English, they will learn about their culture practice. It is a both side benefit. Employment and economic stability is also a challenge the majority of the refugees are facing in their daily lives. Many professional refugees with expertise in policy, law, and other social sciences, they are struggling to find a job and secure a job, and everywhere, not only in Massachusetts, everywhere in the world. It's not due to the lack of capability and talent, so it's due to the lack of local experience in the new country. People will not trust them to give them an opportunity. They basically need an opportunity to prove themselves and how they can work hard and build something. A great example is my family. Like Nazifa said, when we arrived in the United States, there was lots of friends and new friends we made. A couple of them are in here among you today. And not only our friends, the community members. Whenever we were walking in the grocery shop and we noticed someone who noticed us that we came new, and they said that what we can do for you. That was a common question that we faced always, and even I faced it today. Our answer was, help me to find a job. I want to stand on my feet. That was our approach, and within 2 months, we secured a job. If I gave a message for other refugees, other immigrants, when you are in a new country, focus on 2 things. First thing, a survival job. Secondly, building your career. A survival job is something that you can put an experience of United States or a new country in your CV, and once you have that one, move forward to build your career. Doesn't matter if surviving job will give you not good enough income, but as long as it covers your expenses, get it. Any opportunity comes, then get it. For these challenges that many newcomers are facing, what I thought that would be a good approach from our side or from the community members to help them is help them to navigate the connections, introduce them with the local businesses, with organizations, especially those who has casual labor skills, help them to get the job training programs. Due to lack of some of the industries in Western Mass, majority of them are struggling to find a casual labor job. They ended up to be doing the package delivery or driving Uber, which is not a bad thing. It is good. Working is always best. But why we should not use their skill in an appropriate way? So that is our part as a member of the community to help them. Housing and credit history challenges. Finding stable and affordable housing is difficult, especially without having a credit score and credit history in the new country. And majority of the landlords hesitate to rent their houses for immigrants due to the lack of credit score and credit history in the United States. I give you a real example. I did not make this story. This is real. And I know that a person, he's a friend of mine now. I will not give you his name for you. I met a person a few months ago. He's a very nice guy. He's talented, hardworking. He immigrated in the United States with his family and with his children. We had a discussion about how to buy a house, how to have a credit card, and how to use it appropriately and responsibly. And he looked confused, and he said, what are you talking about? And I said, what, you do not have credit card? And he said, no. I thought credit card is for those who wants to borrow money. I never borrowed money. And I said, yes, that's true. You can borrow money with credit card, but there's lots of other benefit involved in the credit card. That's a step forward to build your credit score. And it will make you ready for the future establishment. And once you're in a position to secure a house for your family, if you do not have credit history or credit score, the banks will not give you a loan. And he told me, thank you so much. So can you help me to find out a way to apply it? And we both worked together. I will mention the name of that credit union. We applied in Capital One, and he received a credit card, and he was happy, and he wanted to ask me how to use it, and how many percentage per month I should use it, and how I can pay my debt back. This story made me to think about the importance of the financial literacy classes. Especially like for myself, when I came in here, we did not have the same kind of credit system that you have in the US and back there in Afghanistan. Like literally, we did not have it. Only a few people probably in the country had credit cards. It was very new for me. And a couple of times I asked other people. Then I started my own research to find out my own way. And one day I ended up to teach financial literacy classes for others. So it is very important if you have knowledge of the financial system in US, please, it's a basic, just give a basic information for them. If you have neighbors around your house who came newly in US, just remember they will struggle with this problem. Help them to know, to understand about the banking system, about the credit card, about the credit history, and about the importance of these things in the daily life in the United States. Healthcare access, although Massachusetts provides a comprehensive health coverage for the newcomers in the country, but navigating the system is sometimes challenging. Booking an appointment is difficult, especially if you're new and if you don't know about the system. I can give you an example back from my own country. Getting a specialist was pretty easy. You just needed to walk in their office and they secured an appointment for you within a day. But then here, the system is different. You need to go first through the primary care, and then you need to go through the specialist. People don't know about it. I didn't know when I came here. Booking an appointment, especially if you're a new patient, is really difficult and it's really challenging. I was not possible to find it out on my way moving forward. Luckily, I have two of my great former colleagues from JFS today. They helped me to navigate this first appointment, health appointment, and second health appointment. So that is how the community has a role. If you're a volunteer, if you see someone, please help them to navigate the system. It's really complex for them. I'm not blaming the system. It's complex for a person who came new in the country. Help them to book this book appointment and work together with him behind his computer that he should understand that. Majority of the refugees face with the social isolation and mental health issue. Most of them carry trauma over the persecution and violence. And especially being a new in the country and a new country, it makes them feel loneless. We have some great communities, like I said, the Western Mass is diverse. We have community of Swahili, Arab community, Turkish community, but there could be a refugee or someone who came in the United States that he will not be able to find in a community which he kind of will have a sense of belonging to them. Since he's new in the country, so he does not have friends, with all this trauma that he's carrying with himself, it will end up to be in a stage of depression and anxiety. They need our help. They need our community's help. If you see them, please connect them with the other neighbors. If you see them that he's new in the street, say hi for him and tell him how I can help you to connect with a few other neighbors. They're great people. We can learn from them, from their culture practice. And we can help them to adjust and adopt in the United States. From many opportunities which exist in Massachusetts, these were a few examples which I gave it for you. There are lots of opportunity in this country. And also the refugees in this country will face lots of the challenges, not only in this country, all over the world. It is a really difficult experience. Building life from scratch is not easy. It is really not easy. As I stand here today reflecting our journey, I realize that resilience is not about surviving. It's about transforming. Living behind everything we had it was not the end of our story. It was a new beginning chapter of our life. The road was always difficult, but it was filled with opportunities to hope to rebuild again. The United States has given my family more than safety. It has given us purpose to live in freedom and dignity. My son once caught in uncertainty. Today he dreams freely like all the children around the world deserve it. And I once shaping policy in Afghanistan, now working toward building a new life in the United States. Our past will be always with us, but it will never define our future. We will work hard, we will stand on our feet, and we will contribute back to this country. A country who saved my life, a country who gave me the opportunities to start a new beginning. And for that one, I'm thankful for the entire United States of America and Americans. We are more than refugees. We are a survivor, we are a contributor, we are a dreamers. And if there is a message I hope to leave you today with it, before we move to the Q&A session, it would be no matter where we came from, our strength lays in our ability to hope to build again. Together, we can create a future better than the past we left behind. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Chris, I think, is going to hand the microphone around for questions. I ask you to ask your questions slowly and clearly, and hold the microphone up by your mouth so we can all hear it and it can be on the recording. If I can ask you to start your questions with words such as who, what, when, where, how, or why, and not starting with the word I, we'd all appreciate it.
Thank you for a great presentation. I have a question for you about your current immigration status. Is it secure?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. We are legally in the United States.
Well, not that you weren't here legally, but that there's a lot of political issues going on in the U.S., as you well know, about immigrants and status. And I just wasn't, and I even have heard that Afghanistan refugees are not always equally secure. And I just was wondering how that, if you know about that and how it related to you.
No, actually, we don't know about that, but our status is secured, yes. We received our asylum approval on 2022. Yeah.
Is that the equivalent of a green card or different?
It's a step forward for the green card, yes.
You use the term asylum, what did you say, asylum? You have your asylum card? What word did you use?
No, the legal status is different. Once you secure your asylums and when you be approved an asylum in the United States, you need to have a time period to wait on that time. And then you are able to apply for a green card, which we already did it.
So people with a green
almost 2
card
years
should
ago.
be safe.
I'm not in that position to answer it. I don't know.
Hi, Safie, we've known you since you've gotten here, and I can't tell you how proud we feel, and I'm sure everybody else does, and how much you've accomplished and how coherent and clear your presentation was, given that English is not your first language. When did you first know, what was the moment you knew that you had to flee at so quickly from Afghanistan?
It was a long story. And 14th of August, I believe, or 15th of August, Kabul fell down. And current regime, 15, current regime took control of the Kabul city. We ended up coming home, and from home, we immediately left everything we had. We were living in an apartment, which was ours, and we just left it. We went to a hiding place, and we wait there for further instruction. Like Nazifa showed in one of the photos, we cutted the photo, we blurred it because there was some confident information on that one, like security pass to the airport, we received it. But that was the instruction. We received it from the Kabul airport, and then we ended up from United States, from Department of State. So we ended up to go to the Kabul airport, and by 27th of August, we flew out of the country. But it was a long process.
The process was long, as I mentioned. We both used to work with different organizations. So when I mentioned friends, it was not only one, because I used to work in different projects. Safie used to work. So the friends that we had, like everybody was trying to find a way. That's why we received many instructions. Each of our friends, they were trying to figure out a way for us to get out. So finally, they became together, and they sent many instructions. As I told you, the Kabul airport has many gates. So they tried from different gates, different way for us to reach to the Kabul airport. That's why from 15 up to 27. This one was all the time that I can say I really appreciate for their hard work. I remember even at the midnight they were not sleeping. They work for us to find that way. So the instruction was U.S. State Department. I can say for some of the European countries that we used to work and we knew them. Like it's a group of people. It was not only one.
What did you do to keep your son so wholesome and normal looking in all those pictures, no matter the setting? He looks wonderful. And I'm so impressed as a mother and as a social worker. Can you explain that to us?
Nazifa would be a better position as a man.
In these days, kids are living in electronics. So my son was one of that license. Like he was always being in Netflix with different and the kids program and also in YouTube's back in Afghanistan. That's why I was saying that we never faced with the English with the problem, even at my son, because anything that we had back over there, any program for kids, it was all in English. It was really helpful. So my son had a kind of idea that they are doing some kind of fun thing during the vacation. You know, they are playing a game, people are going on vacation, but he didn't know a lot about, but he just had that idea. Then I decided when that one happened, so as a mom, I had to control the situation. So I made a fake story for him and I was saying, okay, right now we are on vacation. So we are going to play a game. The game is that we have to reach the military. So we have to go the different ways. It's game. All the firing which is happening, all of them are fake. So this is just a game, and we have to play. And her question was, so how should we know that we will win this game? And I say by the time that when we reach to the military, when we see someone with a uniform, it means that we won the game. So I remember when we passed the gate, US military was there and he was sleeping in my lap. And he opened his eyes, and when he saw some of the guy was around us, and he was just start to clapping, and he said, "Oh my God, we won the game! Also, the military is here." That was the thing. That was the story that we made, and it was really painful. And it was handling that situation was really hard, but we didn't have any other choice. So we had to do. Probably the next question maybe you may have. So when he knew about, we were in Germany, he was tired for being in a camp, being at a tent, more than 100 people. He was not able to sleep well. And he was asking for his bedroom. And he said, okay, the game is over. So we reached to the military. Let's go back. I want to sleep in my bedroom. That was the time that I and Safie, we decided to share the truth with him.
Okay, I asked you guys this about 3 years ago, and I hope it's a less painful. I didn't know it was going to be painful. It was maybe insensitive. I'm sorry if so. So, do you think you'll ever go back to Afghanistan?
It is a very difficult question. Half part of our life spent it there. We got education from there, a free education. We grown up from that country, and that's a part of my identity. In the future, if I became citizen, I would be an Afghan American. So it is part of my life, but I hope that country will be in a better situation, that girls can go back to education and the school would be open for people. And Afghanistan is brain drained now. There's not a possibility for us to go back.
When was it obvious to you that you were in danger? What made you know that you were in danger and you had to just abandon your apartment and then go to the hiding place prior to the airport?
It is a long story. My family's involvement in the development of Afghanistan in the last 20 years, from 2001 to 2021. Nazifa's father was a district governor, and he was assassinated by Taliban. And a few other members of my family was also killed. And our involvement, like Nazifa said, we used to work for the international NGOs. I used to work with the projects of USAID, US Embassy in Kabul, and USDA over there for almost a decade. That was the involvement we have. The mindset over there was different. And most recently, when the fall down happened, until the day before the fall down, I was the director of operation and office of ombudsperson. It was an anti-corruption entity in the Office of Chief of Staff to the President of Afghanistan. And we oversee and we investigated the corruption case of the high-ranking government official, like minister, governors, and deputy ministers. So that was the thing. Like when I was coming from in my home and going back to the office, I was a government official, which I stunned clearly with a car which has a government registration, and I have a driver. So everyone knew. I didn't mean the Taliban, but everyone, neighbors, people who were living around us. So that was the reason, and we did not have a place to be on the same location, which was exposed to everyone. And same thing, Nazifa, that by the last day of the fall down, he was working with the Center for Civilian and Conflict, which they used to work on the protection of civilians, and they want to try to implement IHL, the international humanitarian law in the country, to avoid the casualty of the civilian in the battlefields. So this is a non-profit NGO based on the DC. So Nazifa was the country director of operation over there. So this was the involvement we had, and my family was involved, deeply involved on the development in the last 20 years.
A hard story to share and a painful story, but it's good for all of us to hear it, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm curious, when you run into other Afghans or other refugees of any, what kind of stories you hear from them, and thank you for your gratitude. It makes me feel a little bit more proud to be an American. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. You are also part of the changes in our life. Thank you for that. When we first came in Massachusetts, we spent 2 weeks in Diane's house. And she was our host. And the day when we secured our apartment and we were moving, she was not happy. Yeah. And she said, the house is big. I don't need it. You should stay in here. Longmeadow has a good school system. Your son should go to school in Longmeadow. So about the other Afghans, this is I think this is a common feeling that all people should have it, and they have it. If they don't have it, my family has it. We need to be thankful for something which happens for us, and we need to give back. That's my idea. That's why we did not want to spend our time receiving lots of government assistance like SNAP and cash benefit. We decided to work and pay back. Pay our taxes as a normal community member in this country and contribute back to this country. It is the same feeling of the other people also has it. The majority of the people which I am seeing them, they are very thankful. Like something which makes us a little bit different than other Americans. Sorry, this is not a privilege, it's not a positive point, but this is an experience I have. I grown up in a war zone, in a country which was on a battlefield. I know that how service members sacrifice their life to protect civilians. That's why, since I came in U.S., Veteran Day is a big thing for us. We know how hard they worked over there and how thankful we were, and during the evacuation, they helped us. So please, when it's a Veteran Day, if you have a neighbor or a friend, send them a message and tell them the Happy Veteran Day.
Thank you so much for your honesty and openness. It's really been so inspiring. Can you talk a little bit about the type of work you're doing currently?
Yes, we both work for a nonprofit. It's called Save the Children. It's an international organization. We are in around 120 countries around the world. And it's a huge organization, but we are working with the Save the Children US. I'm part of the international program, and I do project management and grant management. Nazifa is part of the global finance team, and she's working with all digits and make sure that we did not spend the money in a wrong way, and she records it in the system. And I manage a portfolio of Save the Children in South Asia, Cote d'Ivoire, and Malawi.
It's, as Safie mentioned, we are working both for the same organization. Something I would like to share with you, probably it would be interesting for you. When I received that, so by the time when I was looking for a job, I applied in many places. I don't remember how many it was. Finally, I got 4 offers during a week. So imagine for an immigrant for someone who is looking for a job and receiving 4 offers in a week, it's also another challenge. You have to pick one among that. It was same for me, and I was looking to that email. Okay, this one, this has this benefit. This is the salary is good. Okay, then this one, each of them has their own benefit. Finally, I decided to go with the Safe Children. Safe Children is the organization, and it's working internationally. They are helping the children for education, for their safety, food, health, in many areas. So I decided to go to a Safe Children because it reminds me back 2001. You know, between 1996 up to end of almost fall 2021, Taliban was in Afghanistan and school was forbidden for kids. And I was not able to go to school. Luckily, I had an educated family, so I had my own class. Everybody at home was my teacher. My parents, my uncles, everybody. I was looking for someone to do to help me with maths. It was something that happened. Then I started school on 2021, start from sixth grade. So by the time majority of international organizations, they were helping kids, especially girls in school. The economic situation was worst, even though the family was not able to provide enough snack and stationery for their kids. Even though I was so young on that time, but you know the red logo of Save Children or blue logo of UNICEF, still I have that is in my memory. Safe Children was on that time one of the organizations that they were helping me. I was their beneficiary in school. I was receiving snack, and also stationery from the Safe Children when I was in school. When I saw their offer, I decided, okay, this is the time I have to pay back. One day this organization was helping me. This is the time I have to work for this organization to help other children in the world.
Thank you very much. And we have a little gift for you
Oh, thank you so much.
from Prosperity Candle, which is based in East Hampton and employs refugees from Burma. So I hope you'll enjoy that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming. Again, we should have information out to you very quickly about the April 8th event as well as the April 29th event. So thank you for coming.